Hey folks, welcome back to our next installment in our series for brain and body-based strategies for nervous system regulation. Today we're going to be practicing channeling your future, which isn't about predicting your future or even vision casting. It's really about stepping ahead into your future self to help you look at a present day situation that is feeling distressing, overwhelming, scary, producing anxiety. Studies have actually shown that we little humans are actually pretty poor at predicting how present events will affect our future emotional states. And we tend to overestimate the future impact of present negative events. And so the exercise that we're going to do today is all about helping you to imagine what life will look like in the future by connecting with your future self and getting a little bit of perspective about your current situation. Again, one of the reasons why events that are happening in the present day can feel so terrible is because we believe the pain is always going to last, right? We feel upset right now, and we think maybe this distress is indefinite, and that, of course, makes us feel worse. And so we're going to start to lean in and explore the potential negative or the potential long-term impact of those events, again, from the perspective of your future self. So for this exercise, you want to have a pen and a piece of paper. Might be handy to be able to jot down some thoughts and ideas. You can also do this in your head if you prefer. It's okay. You can even talk out loud to yourself. You could do it that way too. All kinds of options. And it's recommended that you practice this exercise when you have some strong anxiety or disappointment about how things have gone, or you're worried about something that might happen. Okay, so I'll give you some examples as we go along, but we're going to walk through essentially 6 steps in order to do this practice. Okay, so you're going to need some time for this one, so make sure if you don't have the time right now, pause this, bookmark it, come back to it later. Otherwise, settle in and let's begin. All right. So where we're going to start is you're going to write down a few sentences about a distressing or disappointing event that occurred recently. This could be an instance where you did not succeed or perform in the way that you hoped. Perhaps in response, you still feel down or disappointed or worried about how it will impact you in the future. Just write down the facts of the situation in an objective way. So you're not getting into, oh, this is what they said and he said and they said and they did and da da da. Just the what happened. Where were you? When did it happen? Who was involved? But not any of the emotional reactions, responses to it. So, for example, I applied for my dream job close to home about a month ago. And over the past weeks, I completed multiple rounds of interviews with upper management. After making it through all the rounds, I didn't receive an offer. I tried really hard to get this position. I've been working for it for a long time, and I failed. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to jot down the description of the circumstance or the what happened. My marriage ended. I didn't get the job that I wanted. I didn't pass a class in school. I got a bad grade on an exam. I did something that hurt a friend. A friend did something that hurt me. Again, something that felt distressing or disappointing. Take about 20 more seconds, and of course, you can always come back and do more later if you need more time. Now we're going to tap into the feelings. So when you think about the event or situation, what emotions? And so just write down the words. I feel disappointment. I feel hopelessness. I feel fear about what's going to happen to my career or relationship or friendship or life. Right? I feel sadness. Sometimes we're not quite sure how we feel, so this is a great moment to slow down, quiet down, and just listen. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad feeling. So, whatever you're feeling, angry, hopeless, sad, scared, disappointed, frustrated, just write down the feelings. Now, what are you telling yourself about how your future is going to be impacted by this event? I'm never going to be loved again. I'm going to die alone. Oh my goodness, this job was the key to my future and my life, and therefore I'm never going to have the things that I want to have in my life. I'm going to be trapped in my current job forever. Oh, my friend's going to hate me forever. Whatever it might be, this is where you want to tap into what is it that you're projecting as the impact of the situation on to your future. Okay, good work. Now is where we're going to have to allow the mind to expand. And the invitation is to step out of the present day and the present day distress and stressors and disappointment and to move yourself forward. Now, the suggestion is kind of imagining a leap of 5 years, but move to whatever time frame feels accessible for you, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, but it does need to be far enough out that you'll have been far enough removed from this current experience and disappointment. And just begin to imagine, where will you be living? Who will be the most important people in your life? What could life look like? How will you be spending your time? So just try to imagine your future self as clearly as you can, not from a place of detriment, not from a place of destruction or hopelessness, but being really clear and practical about it. So, for example, like, where are you still going to be living, or where do you hope to be living? Right? Who are the people in your life? Right? Like your spouse or friends or family. Right? Maybe you imagine that you'll have some new friends or new connections. Maybe think about what, in the context of we're working with, a disappointment around career, thinking about, okay, well, I might be in the same profession. I might have found a new job. You're going to be older, right? So imagining yourself like, gosh, what kind of state of health do I want to be in? How will I be spending my time? What might be some of my interests? And think about how the stressors might change or evolve for that future self, right? What are the day to days going to be for that future you? What are you going to be concerned about in the future? What will be taking up more mental space? If you have a child that's growing up, like maybe now I'm going to be a bit more, stressed about getting that child into college or what their life is going to be looking like or where they're going, how I'm going to balance maybe between work and family. You can even be silly, like maybe I'll be having a midlife crisis. Maybe I'll be navigating the world of getting older. Things creak and pop and it's hard to move sometimes. Lordy Lord. And then just notice, are your anticipated stressors different from your current day stressors? When you look into the future, does it seem likely that you're going to still be concerned about the stressors that you're currently experiencing? You still going to be wrapped up in all that? You still really be thinking about that job that you didn't get? Or will you have moved on? Will you have found new roads, new paths? Are these stressors and these things still substantially impacting you in 5 years? And listen, I know, I went through heartbreak this last year. I know it can be like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be sad forever. But guess what? I've been through heartbreak before. So clearly that's not true. I was able to heal and move on and fall in love again. I've lost jobs in my life and then gotten new ones. I've lost friends in my life and then gotten new ones. So it's really helpful to just write down a statement or a phrase like, I don't imagine that not getting that job will be something that will still bother me in 5 years. Or I've made it through things like this before. I can make it through them again. And honor, like, I'm not necessarily, I don't have to be happy about the fact that I didn't get that job or that relationship ended or that friend mistreated me or, I lost a family member, whatever it might be. But it won't cause me to suffer forever. And I'm going to say something really important here, unless I choose to let it cause me to suffer forever. Suffering is a choice. So, bottom line, while present stressors and disappointments can feel intense in the moment, those emotions rarely last for months, much less years, into the future. We underestimate our ability to bounce back and move forward. But we know from psychological research that even very upsetting letdowns rarely have a long-term impact on one's happiness. Now, listen, we're here talking about trauma and abuse, so don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that abuse doesn't impact you and have very long-term consequences when it's gone unaddressed. But when we start to heal and we start to get resources and support, and we start to choose to take back our lives and heal, then that past trauma doesn't have to have long-term impact. Trauma is not a life sentence. So I love this exercise as a way to help us remember that we have resilience, we have bounce back, that we can make it through, that life is ever evolving and changing, and we can be connecting more and more into the potential and the possibility of things changing. Beautiful. If you need some help, if you need some support, if you need some guidance for how to heal from sexual abuse, please reach out. I'm here and check out the Beyond Surviving program. I'd love to walk alongside you in that journey. And until next time, you take good care of you.